This is just stuff that I know. I'm like, when people tell me they're so like, they can't believe it, or like they resonate so much with it, I'm like, how did you not know it to begin with? That's like I was talking to Jordan Shallows about it on his podcast. Like, he's like, oh, you're getting notorious, like you're getting more known now, and people or whatever is affecting you. I'm like, no, because I don't really see people. Like, I don't. Yeah, there's a number on a screen that's of people that say they follow me, and people write me.
Yeah.
But I don't have a physical interaction with you, nor do I like walk down the street and everyone's, hey man, like it's not like that, right?
Yeah.
So, and I've also seen the flip side of that where that is what's happening in this, and I've been around someone who like that is their life.
Yeah.
And I know it's nothing like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's so far from that I'm like, cool. As long as it's never that, I'm cool being here.
So how did this shift from that to what you're doing now then?
Well, the COVID hit, and everything shut down. We went home and all this stuff. So I was home for a long time, and that's the most time I'd spent at home in a long time.
Yeah.
So it was just nice to be home, and my girl lives with me, and my mom lives with us. Like, she has her own area in our house. So it's just like being around for them more felt better than felt right. It didn't feel like being there was where I should be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like my mother's also getting older, so it's like I have a responsibility as her son to like be present a bit.
Yeah.
I can't just keep like pawning it off on my girl or other people. Do this for her. Like, I kind of have to be there, and she wants me there. So it's like I kind of took stock of everything that was going on. I was like, man, something needs to change here. And it's all honest to God, it's all thanks to Antoine, because I went to Pure Muscle just to check Pure Muscle out, because I knew Dorian and Noah back in the day, and I just heard they opened a gym, so I was like, oh, I'd like to come and see it. And Antoine was trained there, and I've known Antoine for a long time. And Antoine was like, or Dorian was like, oh, maybe you could give Antoine help with his back, because you've always had like a good back, and just give him some pointers. So I'm like, sure. So I just started helping Antoine, and it just grew from there. Like, I started helping everybody in the gym, started helping Regan, Quentin, all these other guys, and it just kind of snowballed from there. But I was never like, oh, you better film me and promote. Like, I was just training these guys because I was like, I got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I'm just going to come here anyway.
Yeah.
So I tell Antoine, like, I'll come, I'll train you, and I'll train myself and go home.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It's an hour of my day, right? So I'm like, it's like helping you. I like to see, Antoine's a really good dude, so I want to see him succeed.
Yeah.
So it just kind of went from that, and then I met Quentin, and I was like, you're literally Ronnie Coleman reborn.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it, it's great to help you. Like I'm not helping, I'm just guiding. I'm steering the ship in a direction.
Yeah.
That ship is its own entity that's going to become what it becomes, right? But it's just like helping him, helping Regan, and it just became what it became, and it's now what it is, right? Like, I never wanted any of this. I never was like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then people were like, oh, why don't you do your own YouTube channel? Why don't you do this? Because you're doing well on this. And I was like, oh, sure. And now I'm here with you, so it's cool.
Yeah. Well, it's just like you started this security thing partially, right, to earn more income, to be able to basically, to just be blunt, buy more shit, to be able to take all the stuff that you need to do to become a better pro bodybuilder.
Yeah, even when I was bodyguarding, I was probably those years were the years that I probably did very little juice.
Yeah.
I was just like more focused on like just functioning within that space.
No, but you're building capital.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're building capital, you're building resources.
But I literally took like, when I went for that job, it's like I literally shut off bodybuilding.
Got it.
So I've always worked out.
Yeah.
So I worked out, but I was also very into boxing. So I was into boxing, and I was probably the lightest I've ever been when I was guarding.
Yes.
I got down to like 262. Like,
got it.
Pretty good shape, right? So like I was just in this journey of like always understanding that I need to be like physically and mentally prepared for shit that pops off.
Yeah.
I can't be this big lumbering dude who's fuck, like I get out of breath from like throwing 3 punches. Like,
well, it's exhausting just scanning people.
Yeah. So I'm like, I was just kind of in that mindset, and I'd always had my ear to bodybuilding. Like, I always knew who was winning the Olympia, and like I was follow certain things here and there, but like I was never like, I wasn't up on stuff. So when I came back to bodybuilding with Antoine and everybody, I was just doing the stuff I'd always done. It wasn't anything new.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to like make myself.
But it kind of looks new.
Yeah. So I was like, this is just shit that I know.
Yeah.
But people before me knew it too.
Yeah.
And somewhere where it got lost. Like, it's like they burned the books or something.
Yeah.
And no one knows what the fuck is going on anymore. And these fucking TikTok dorks have fucking circumvented everybody. And now make you believe that this is training.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what happened to all this good shit? Like, do you guys not remember the 90s? Do you not remember the 80s?
I don't think they were there.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
but you don't even have
I get it.
any recollection of it, like,
Yeah.
through other people bringing it up, or, so it's just like, this is the stuff I always knew. And now I'm just saying it.
No, that's what caught my attention with your stuff, is because I started seeing it and I'm like, this, thank God, you know, it's like, this is common sense, you know, like,
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
where'd this
I say
go?
it to my girl all
You
the
know?
time. Like, this is just stuff that I know. I'm like, when people tell me they're so like, they can't believe it, or like they resonate so much with it, I'm like, how did you not know it to begin with? Like, is it not known by everybody? Like,
No.
yeah, it's
You know,
crazy.
and that's the weird thing, where we just hosted a Swiss symposium as an event, right? So
Yeah.
that what one of the takeaways I took just from a marketing side of that was, we realized, you know, halfway through the marketing of the whole thing, that I'm trying to market networking to people that have never been to an event that's ever networked. And so I'm trying to market, you know, the human side
Yeah.
of being at a symposium or a conference or a clinic or some educational event, you know, powerlifting meet for that matter, bodybuilding show. And I'm trying to market the benefits of one-to-one networking,
Yeah.
right? Just the value. And then it hit us like, fuck, these people have never ever, they've never been there, right? So what you're explaining to people now is stuff that they've never ever heard before, ever, because they've never got outside of their own little bubble,
Yeah.
you know, to be able to.
And it's crazy to me because, like, I was training the whole time I was doing that jobs, and I was like all over the place, like Australia, like Europe, everywhere in Europe, all these things. I went to gyms everywhere because, like, I work out, so I gotta find a fucking gym, and it's the same shit everywhere. It's
Really?
like, it's an epidemic of like people who don't know how to fucking work out. I'm not talking about like high level people.
Yeah.
Like, there's great lifters everywhere. There's
Yeah.
pockets everywhere, but I'm talking about general public. People in gyms across North America, across Europe and Australia. No fuck. I'd say Australia is probably the best, but no fucking clue. In Australia, when I went to gyms there, it was more focused on like this like CrossFit type stuff and like hybrid type training, whatever the fuck they want to call it. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is, but it's just hyper athletic with some powerlifting maneuvers in it, right? And it's just like, I see these people like even just performing a bicep curl, and you're just snapping the bar up, I'm doing the bicep, right? And like, I sit on this machine, and I pull these things, and magically my back will appear. It's like, do
You know what I
understand-
wonder, as you just said this, is my when I was in high school, I was competing, right? So I had a job in high school as a fitness instructor. Like at a club, you just walked around, you showed people how to do the exercises. That was part of my job.
Yeah.
And I knew the Weider principles and thought I knew everything, but it was probably more than most people know.
Better than nowadays, that's for sure.
I'm wondering if that position is just no longer exists and it's become replaced with a personal trainer. So there is nobody in these gyms that used to be the guy that was behind the desk, that kind of knew bodybuilding or powerlifting or whatever it was, that would see some fucked up pull downs and then walk over and say, hey buddy, you know, look.
That's what I mean. Like, sorry, that's like, like, I'm sure you, like, your gym is a standalone gym, and there's other gyms you can probably think of growing up where it was like Monster Gym or like fucking Colossus or whatever, and the fucking owner would like, he'd guide people.
Yeah.
Or there'd be one or two pros there'd be like, or like a trainer, like a head trainer, be like,
yeah.
oh man, don't do that. You're gonna fuck your shit up. Even if he's not doing it right himself, he's guiding you on a better path than you're currently on, right? And that's gone now.
That's gone.
It's like, and people are just passing on nonsense to each other. They're just regurgitating something they heard from someone said over here, making it their own, telling it to somebody else, pawning it off as a new thing, right? It's like John. I never met John in my life, but I would have loved to have met him. I watched a lot of his videos. Antoine speaks so highly of him. It's like that he came along and he started showing people like, yo, you need to do shit different. Like, he's taking these bodybuilder guys. So I saw, it's like Fuad, for example, like lifting like a fucking maniac, hurting himself, and he's like, yo man, you don't need to do that, you need to just do this, like focus on this, man. And he's like, wow, it's made such a difference. It's like, yeah, there's been people saying it, you guys just haven't been listening. Do you know what I mean? It's like, where did that go? And why is there no one in there's no accountability in gyms anymore where people are like when I see a kid in the gym taking his shirt off in the fucking mirror and posing, and he's 160 pounds in an open gym in public, it's like, I'll go over and say, put your fucking shirt on. Like, I don't walk around like that. Even when I was a pro, I don't walk around and take my fucking shirt off in the gym, and like, it's inappropriate shit, right?
When I was coming up through and they were smaller private gyms, so even when I go into the more commercial type of gyms, the bodybuilders were always the ones that were in hoods. And you never saw what they looked like until like 2 weeks before a show.
I mean, they're quiet.
Yeah, they're wearing fucking hoods in the middle of the summer.
It's because, like, that's what I said before, like, it's a thinking man's the thinking man's thing, right? Like they're deep into thought of what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're thinking about, like, they're feeling everything. It's working. They're like, fuck, I don't feel that as much. Let me change my angle. Let me do this. And they're in their own zone. It's not about like, how does this Alpha Elite shirt look? Or,
Yeah.
you know, I got a new dark sport shirt. It fucking looks sick. Like, let's take pictures together. Me and another dude.
Yeah.
All work out. It's just like the weirdest shit. And I grew up in an era, like I'm sure you did too. Like there were some gyms that people couldn't go. Like
No, you can't get
go
in. Yeah, you can't get in.
You can get in, but you're not going to feel welcome, and you're going to fucking leave pretty quick. Right?
No, yeah.
And that's no longer the case because everyone's like everyone's just learning and this and that. It's like there's gyms I went to, like the fucking front desk dude's like a fucking biker. The dude behind the desk is selling he's a fucking drug dealer.
Oh, of
just
course.
the gym's a front.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
The guy training people over here, he's pushing drugs. This guy, this and this. It's like that was the environment.
No, it was when I came up through powerlifting, and then in college, I wanted to do this bodybuilding thing because I went in a gym and there's like machines and shit. I'm like, this would be like Wonderland. This is like awesome. I've never seen this shit before. Mm-hmm. So the first thing I had to do was like, where are the best bodybuilders at? So I'd have to go to a bodybuilding show and listen. So-and-so from. Then there's like consistency, like, oh, they all train here. Yeah. I need to go here. Then you go and you train there. Then you start paying attention. Like, what time do they train? Yeah. Then I'm going to train the same time they do. Then I'm going to bust my ass. And then over a period of months, you kind of earn your way. Yeah. You know, given spots and shit like that. Then you get a training partner that's way better than you. Yeah. That was the process. And then usually whoever owns the gym was the competitor or something like that. So you kind of get to know them. I call it kind of like earning your way, you know, and now that obviously is not.
Yeah, because these like a lot of these like smaller gyms, they can't compete with like these mega gyms that pop up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like Lifetime Fitness and LA Fitness, like every piece of equipment, they got saunas, showers, all this. Like, people want these amenities now. It's just like I said in the video before, like the gym has replaced happy hour at the bar. It's just like now people are like, oh, I want to be healthier. I'm gonna go hang out at the gym and talk to people and all my friends and not work out and pretend like I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the bar, which is a good.
It's probably
choice.
A good thing,
yeah,
but it's you
like,
know, on the other end, there's the niche markets that get impacted.
Yeah, it's just odd to me, and I sound like a grumpy old dude, and maybe I am, but it's just like I'm not even that old. Like, you know what I mean? The guys before me would hate it even more, but it's just like I kind of wish it would get back to that a bit, just because it's like that's the environment I like, right? So when I walk around our gym back home, it's like I'm kind of snarling at some people and doing whatever. Like I don't care, but it's like in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like,
yeah. Well, you know what? If your influence and reach is increasing, then the message is being heard.
Yeah.